I used to teach at Art Center, and oftentimes this pattern would emerge when students would design their storyboards with me. And I would challenge them and I would ask them, like, why did you do it that way? They would almost always say something to the effect of, well, I thought we couldn't do it the other way. I said, well, who taught you that? And I would ask them to cite what class, what book, which author, which teacher told you couldn't do that. Every single instance, they could not name it, but they felt it.
Weird has been weaponized, but it's the avoidance of being weird that makes people put themselves in boxes. So when you think about that person in school that was different from everyone else, or there's the weird person at the office. We've all done this at some point in our life. They're weird. And we've used that as a negative. Oh, that's weird. When actually weird means you're different. Different means you're unique. Unique means you're original. And this is what everybody wants to be. They want to be different. And don't take my word for it. Think about people that society holds high. Kanye, Elon Musk, Tom Cruise. It goes on and on, right? They're all weird. They are themselves. They are unique because they've got their weird tendencies and we love them for it. Here's the curious part is that inside of our bubble, people in our world, we don't want anybody like that. Everybody needs to fit a mold. But if you're outside of our bubble, the people that we don't interact with, then we love weird. It's super curious that we have this dichotomy. We don't want to interact with weird, but we want to admire it from afar. And we certainly don't want to be weird because then we're in the other people's bubble and now we're going to be ostracized. I think a little bit of what you're saying comes from the idea that someone doesn't know what to do, so they create this limitation that they think will then fit with everyone else. And sometimes it's spoken to, like if someone says, those pants are weird, why would you wear that? And other times, in your example, people are taking best guesses just to avoid the ostracism that could come with being different.
Yeah, so I find that as a teacher, most of my job is helping students dismantle those self-imposed rules so that they can harness and open up their true creativity. But this is something that I push creative people to do. So if we say only about 2% of adults survive as a creative person, within that group, they're still questioning things. They're like, Chris, I'm still trying to fit in a box, that there's this need to conform. We learned a long time ago to get along, we have to go along. And being weird gets us ostracized. It gets us funny looks. Sometimes we're put on a different bus. We're teased. And so those patterns of thinking and the need to fit in is so strong and prevalent, even within the 2% that survive. And I do everything I can to push people to embrace your inner weird. James Victory has this expression, which I love, which I co-opted and modified a little bit. But his thing is, what makes you weird as a kid makes you a creative as an adult. That's a lot to say. I just say what makes you weird makes you wonderful. And when we learn to lean into that, it becomes your superpower. In some way, we want to stand out in a good way. We just don't want it to be labeled as weird. And you said weird has been weaponized and it's turned into a negative word and then for used against us. And therefore we kind of shy away from it. But you described something. Weird, if we look at it differently, is just another word for unique and different. And if we're able to stack enough weirdness, things that we prefer, then we become a really truly unique person.